Welcome to PoliticIt Talk, where we talk about political strategy. I'm Josh Light.
And I'm Sterling Morris.
And today we were going to talk about targeting from a poll, but we're going to move that podcast to next week instead. There's some exciting things that have happened. Vine just launched. It was launched by Twitter, and we're going to talk about that. And later on in the show, we're going to meet with the chairman of the Utah Democratic Party and state senator, Jim Dabakis. So, Sterling, why don't you tell us about Vine?
Well, Vine was recently acquired by Twitter, and it started showing up publicly 2 weeks ago. And it's this new application or plugin for Twitter that allows you to share videos with your audience. So a few things that are really interesting about it: all videos are 6 seconds long, and all videos loop. So if you record a video and share it through Vine, those videos will continue to loop as long as the viewer is watching it. So it's kind of a unique way to watch moving pictures.
And Sterling, do you think that getting involved in Vine early on will be a strategic advantage for politicians?
Yeah, that's always a great idea. It's always a good strategy move for politicians to adapt to new social media outlets early on, especially if you know that they're going to stay around. And the fact that Twitter has acquired Vine and has incorporated it into Twitter's platform is a good sign that this is going to be around for a long time. The other thing that indicates that it's going to be successful is the speed in which people have begun using Vine. It's exploded in just 2 weeks' time, and on nearly every topic you can see a whole slew of videos, from cat videos to videos on politics to videos on your local sports teams. They're all out there, and it's happened just within the last 2 weeks.
Now, Vine is only available for iPhone and iPad users right now. We imagine that other devices will be made available. Vine will be made available to other devices in the future, but right now it's just available for iPhone and iPad users. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad, go ahead and check it out, upload some videos, and get involved in this new social network.
A few other things. The one thing that some people have expressed a bit of frustration with Vine is on the fact that your Twitter followers don't carry over to your Vine followers. So it's almost like it's a new social network, more than just a plugin for Twitter. So that's another reason why it's good to get started and start developing an audience on Vine. But any videos that you produce on Vine can be automatically shared to Twitter and Facebook. So Josh, why don't you tell us how users who don't have an iPhone or an iPad can still interact with Vine?
So what you want to do is you want to log into your Twitter account. You go up to the search bar, type in vine.co, that's VINE.co, and then type whatever term you want after that. So for example, if you wanted to look at Vine videos regarding cats, then you type in vine.co and then cats and press enter. And you want to make sure there's a space between the vine.co and then your keyword. And then you'll see a lot of interesting videos come up of cats. And even if you don't like cats, the videos are pretty entertaining. So check out the cat videos and other videos, politics, whatever you want to look for. It's a rapidly expanding social network. If you have an iPhone or iPad, getting involved early in this social network will give you a natural advantage because you will have more followers relative to other users.
All right, now we're going to go over to our interview with Jim Dabakis.
Senator Dabakis, thanks a lot for sitting down with us today to talk about social media and politics. Now, we'd like to know how you use social media as a Utah state senator.
Josh, I use social media to talk to the people in the district and the state. The truth is, we have one of the most uninvolved electorates in the country. We used to be 5th in the country in voting. We've dropped to 48th. So the people just aren't as involved as they once were. So if you want to get your message out or you want to get feedback, you can't just respond back to the people that are already participating. So the place to go is the place where the people are, and that's the social media.
What's your favorite social network to use?
I like Nickelodeon. Oh, okay, no, all right. I know that it's getting a little passé, but I like Facebook just because I'm old and I'm comfortable with it and it's there. I know even Twitter's getting a little old now, but luckily I have a lot or a group of young people that are very talented, and even the things I can't pronounce, they have me on, and so that is really the key to, I think, the generation of 40 plus decision makers. It's to make sure you're surrounded by young people that are a lot smarter than you are.
We used our software, PoliticIt Candidate, to mine online chatter, and we noticed 3 big topics that came up recently. One of them was Utah's Hispanic population and the Democratic Party reaching out to them. How do you plan to use social networks to reach out to the Hispanic population?
You know, the Hispanic population really is not involved in Utah politics. I mean, it is by far the fastest growing group within Utah. They have the ability to change our state. And we have done a pretty miserable job, we being elected officials, in reaching out into the Hispanic community. So we hope that by going where Hispanic people go, that we'll be able to talk to them in their own language in the sense of Spanish, as well as their own language in the way they talk and where they feel comfortable. All too often there's this kind of authoritarian, this is the way the Utah Senate speaks, and if you want to participate, you really need to speak our language. And that is a bridge to nowhere. So I feel that it's incumbent upon us to be inclusive and to go where people are rather than expect them all to come to us. Right now, 46% of Hispanic young people that start high school in Utah are not going to get a diploma. And these young people are alienated to our system. Well, they are on social networks. I'm comfortable and confident they're there. So this gives us an avenue, an opportunity to speak to a tremendously important and growing group of young people that there's just no other way for us to get to.
We noticed there was also a lot of chatter on the bill you introduced regarding the John Swallow case. What are the details behind that bill?
Well, the John Swallow case is interesting, and the U.S. Attorney right now is investigating, and I hope the investigation goes wherever it needs to go and leads wherever it needs to go. And if John Swallow hasn't done anything, he ought to be exonerated. And if he's done something, then the legal system should kick in. But there's clearly some institutional problems with the way we fund campaigns, particularly in Utah. Can you imagine? Nobody's disputing the fact that somebody went to John Swallow, handed him a check for $200,000 and said, here, have a good campaign, while patting him on the shoulder. It's perfectly legal. Tens of thousands of dollars were turned by a PAC over to John Swallow. You also had a group in Las Vegas that contributed to an independent expenditure that was used on John Swallow's behalf, and nobody knows who those people are. So you have these hundreds of thousands of dollars pouring into our statewide races from faceless people that don't need to report and that can give unlimited amounts of money. So that old idea of, hi, I'm running for political office statewide, please send me $100. You know, you get a $200,000 person, or you get a $500,000 person, or as in the case of Governor Herbert, the fact is, the last time he ran, time before last, when he ran against Peter Caroon, he took $80,000 from a contractor that had just won a highway bid. Is it illegal? No. Is it unethical? I don't know. But I want to include in the Utah ethics laws a law that says you cannot contribute more than $10,000 for statewide offices or $5,000 for legislators. It just makes sense. And I think virtually everybody in the state, except for the politicians who are getting the money, would be in favor of that. But the governor is opposed to that. He says it abridges his First Amendment right, freedom of speech. It just seems the wrong path to me. And I think John Swallow may be the moment, like Grandma was 2 years ago, where the people kind of stood up. People of Utah need to stand up and say, enough is enough on campaign financing. $10,000 from one person is enough money.
We notice a lot of online chatter surrounding the recent amount of money the Utah Democratic Party raised, raising more money than it has ever raised before at a fundraising event. How do you plan to use social networks to raise money in the future?
Well, we are going to be really active in that. We have, in Utah, not been as effective in using social media to raise money and to raise awareness. And I am confident that we're going to plug into what the Obama campaign plugged into. I mean, there is no question now that President Obama was reelected because of their campaigns, the Organizing for America, OFA, the President's Reelection Campaign, their astonishing ability to tap into voters and to organize them in a way that has never, ever been done before. And Mitt Romney, who got the nomination a little late, at least compared to the president, tried to jump on, but he was using kind of the 20th century technology. The president was there with the 21st century, and what he did and how he organized and how he turned those competitive states into local races is astonishing. And when that story is fully told, there's glimpses here and there, it's going to change politics forever. We want to be part of that in the Utah Democratic Party, and we're very, very interested in getting more of the details of how the president did that. One other thing that's kind of interesting, in the presidential campaign, old media, I mean, there was a simple strategy. Mitt Romney used it. You go, you raise $1 million, you pick your targeted markets, and you buy $1 million worth of television time. Simple. President didn't do that. He spent considerably less on television than anybody has spent in a long time, but great globs of money went toward social organizing and the social media. When all the postmortems are done on how all of this, I think we're going to find that the use of television, which started in Harry Truman and Dwight Eisenhower's time and revolutionized everything, that certainly as a single source media is over as a result of the president's reelection. And we have this new giant emerging of social media. And it will be interesting to see how long it takes to completely kill television, or television gets relegated to the back. But it's going to happen.
Well, thanks for meeting with us today, Jim. And that concludes our PoliticIt Talk podcast for this week. Next week, we'll be talking about targeting from a poll.
PoliticIt Talk is brought to you by PoliticIt. PoliticIt provides powerful real-time campaign analytics for politicians. Contact PoliticIt if you would like to be a beta tester.